Yo, what's going on? YouTube land. How many people we got out there? Day number 4 of the 12 days of live streaming. And I'm feeling pretty good. I've got good energy tonight. I'm ready to talk about a topic. I hope you guys are ready to listen, join in, do whatever it is you may want to do. All right, it looks like this StreamYard chat is slightly behind the YouTube chat, so there's even longer than the uh, 30-second delay. So sorry about that. Let's see what we got in the chat right now. Franco, Third Era, William Berg, David, Base Echo Boom, RVH, what up? BNN Audio, Larry Link, what's going on? Bobon, Dragon, yo, yo, yo. Third Era. I'll continue to be a fanboy of my favorite brand as long as that brand's Hi-Fi Vega. Oh, how y'all doing tonight? You having fun? What's going on? Yeah, I seen that 5 Star was streaming. I'm trying to not overlap my live streams because obviously it's going to doing 12 days uh times that because I know 5 Star does one, and then tomorrow every day audios will do one. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm not overlapping those. So that way that way we don't have, if y'all want to watch them both or one or the other, it's not gonna affect you. Yeah, you know how that is. My buddy JDR. All right. Uh Today I have a topic. I have another topic. Uh Before I get into that, I left another StreamYard link. I will leave one again here if y'all want to call in and chat, you know. If you got questions, you got comments, concerns, anything, we can chat about it after my topic, that is. So, my topic today, it is brand loyalty a good thing? So I think there is pros and cons. I'm a pretty positive guy, so I'm going to start with the pros that I think of brand loyalty. So the number one pro is, to me, that is you get a consistent. It's this isn't always the case though. This can also be a con. Um, you get a reliably consistent product typically. And this obviously this changes over time. Perfect examples, this is going into a con of this changing over time would be like PPI, Hyphonics, MB Court. I just tested MB Court amp. Um, Brands like that, the DEI buyout, the Maxonics group buys that they had, those are going to diminish the quality and diminish the name's brand. Another prime example of this would be like Kodak. It was a heralded brand for many, many years in the early 1900s, and then it got bought out, and just basically it ended up being a label to stick on any product you had to make it a brand name. So, but in general, if the original manufacturer is making this product and they continue to keep their quality up, you're going to have a consistent product. So that is one of the good points of brand loyalty. Another good point is integration. So a brand typically will try to integrate a good brand. Let me say that, clear that up. A good brand will typically try to integrate all their products. You guys might hate on this for me, but one of them is like Apple. If you have an Apple laptop, an Apple iPad, and an Apple iPhone, you can receive your messages through all those. All iMessage pops across all those. You don't have to set nothing up. It's just automatically you can reply to those messages from any device that you have. So that's good integration. And another example that the Apple ecosystem working well is like on video editing. Their integrated solution. for video processing, even though it may not be as powerful as a $2,000 laptop, I guarantee you it can render a 4K 60 video faster than a $2,000 laptop or a $2,000 desktop because of integration, and it's tightly integrated software and hardware. That goes for car audio too. When you're talking about DSPs, especially DSPs, and then working with the amps, trying to have perfect crossover points for their speakers. So those are two big pros I think that brand loyalty has. You guys leave some comments below, some other pros that you think brand loyalty might give you. Before we get into the cons, I'm going to kind of scroll through the chat now and see what comments we got going on there, if any, about brand loyalty. Let's see here. Okay, let me get a few more shout outs. Ken Alexander's in the house. Eric Dudley, BN Audio. Uh Euphoria K, what's up? Thumper, what's going on? Pastor Jack, bass head go boom. All right, so Third Air has a comment here. It says, back when Zed made a few amps for my favorite company, they were sought after big time. Now they have found the same conversation as overrated budget equipment. And, here's the thing about not all Zed products are created equal. I will tell you that. They made cheaper products for cheaper brands. And I mean, that's just the reality. That's just the reality of it. Just because it's a Z made product does not always mean that it's top quality like the top quality Z made products. So let's see who else we got here. Um, love the Pioneer Dolphins for sure. I said, JDR here. He says, I know most of us are old school guys, but one thing to take in consideration here is brand support. That is a very good point that I did not even cover on the pros. So brand loyalty could also be simply because of their support structure. Are they giving you good customer service? Do you know that pretty much if something with JL or Rockford Fosgate goes bad, they're going to replace that for you if it's under warranty and it's not just some blatant abuse. And to be honest with you, I've heard of them replacing blatant abuse cases as well as kickers. So that is something very, very good in the pro category of brand loyalty that I think is a very positive, and it might even be it's probably more important than the two that I already mentioned. Being reliability and integration. So good point, Jason. Yeah, you 4K have open mind to all brands. Me too, man. As long as I like to see, I'm not an early adopter, so I like to see a established, proven product out there before I'm willing to spend my money. Um, I used to be an early adopter of technology, but I've got burned so much off that to me, it's not worth it. It's never worth it to have the first of anything. I want to make sure that is all ironed out, and then I'll jump on board. David Carter, what's going on? Show, what's up? Chris Franklin, what is up? Oh my gosh. Eric Dudley, he says he knows nothing of brand loyalty, even though you could see his Rockford Fosgate hearing aid right in the old picture there. Lunchbox Bailey, what's going on? All right. I keep scrolling down too far here. Zed did make some good Nakamichis, that's for sure. It would be nice if the manufacturer recognize your brand support. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I think they do have some maybe have some loyalty rewards type setup, but they definitely should do that. All right, let's see if we have any more questions before I go on to some of my cons. But first, I'm gonna need a drink of water. All this talking, man. I said I said water, I meant Coke Zero. I normally do have a water, but I happen to have a Coke Zero. I just had dinner. All right, let's see. Uh, okay, so Being Audio says, I look at brand loyalty like this. If I only buy an amp from a company once every 5 years because it's a good company, can I get a small discount or some extras so I don't go for another component? Maybe. I mean, that's something they might look into in the future. These smaller, newer companies, I doubt it, but some of the more established companies that are looking to retain customers, that's definitely a good idea. Okay, let me see here. Show missed live stream yesterday. They had some to the holiday deals. American Base is selling 50-foot zero gauge wires for 119, and they're running a 30% coupon. Now, show that is OFC, right? I mean, the price seems kind of cheap for OFC, but American Base typically offers a little bit cheaper anyways, so that might be a good day or a good price. Uh, Yo, Donnie Tuttle, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. The $5 holla. All right. Back in the 90s, I was all Bostwick. Man, that is a company you don't see often, but they had some cool looking products. I really haven't got to play with them, but they had some cool looking products. So I could dig the aesthetic of them anyways, even though I don't know how well they perform. So, all right. Let's talk about the cons. What So I don't want to go too negative here, but if you guys seen my post, on the community tab on Facebook, this I would say is the biggest flaw or the con of brand loyalty, and it's not everybody. It's just certain people have this mentality of being a fanboy. To me, I mean, this can go so hard and so far sideways being a fanboy that you're blinded to anything that's out there and you just pledge blind loyalty to any company or anything in general. Fanboyism to me, it's really a problem and just in the world in general. And it's kind of we've built this culture, the nerd culture has kind of taken over, which is cool, because comic books and stuff like that, they were nerdy back in the day and now they're mainstream. But along with that comes some of the negative sides and fanboyism has really it's went from, you know, being a DC or Marvel guy to all the way up to politics, So the downsides of that being blinded by your blind loyalty to anything else is that's a major, major con because for example, when I do a comparison of the um, Sundown SA 6.5 to the Savard High Q 6.5, and I think that I say that yeah, this Sundown SA 6.5, it's nice. I like it. The price is higher, but I think that the High Q is a better value, and it's my overall pick personally. And that's what I said. I said simply, this is my opinion. I prefer this over this, and I got a lot of hate for that, which that's your preference, whether you like the Sundown because it's a Sundown or because they have a more proven record or a better customer service in your opinion or experience because Sevard is still pretty new. So I can completely understand that. But when you go into blind fanboyism, it's it's a problem. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. You kind of sound off in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about it. If I'm right, if I'm wrong. That's the major major con of brand loyalty, and it kind of encompasses every part of the negatives of it. Meaning that if another company comes out with a product you that would fit you perfectly, you're not even willing to look at it because you were just so tied into this brand and you're going to do whatever this brand says. And that happens to this is this is the part this is a second part of the con that I would attribute to companies. So Apple is horrible about this, and you guys know I'm a bit of an Apple fanboy myself, and I'm beholden to Apple because they are so integrated that like iMessage will not work with Android. The good features that they do have, they are locking you into their platform. So that is a definite negative, and it's coming from the company. It's not so much in the car audio world like that, but I would say that in the manufacturers of cars, it is like that. Uh, you know, companies like BMW, high-end companies are not willing to work with the uh, third-party manufacturers, car audio manufacturers, because they're trying to lock you into their platform. They once made you pay $50 a year or $70 a year, BMW, until recently. They just recently reversed this. You would have to pay $70 a year to use Apple CarPlay in your car. Now that wasn't Apple charging that, it was BMW locking that behind a paywall. That kind of stuff's not cool. They finally figured out, they changed that. Um, if you guys have any more negatives of brand loyalty that I kind of didn't cover, drop them in the comments. I'll read through them. I'll see what you guys think about it. Yo, Ziggy in the chat. Good night. Sweet dreams, my friend. All right, let's see. Base Insane bought two Dark Audio DKI 15s. They went out of business, and those were supposed to be great subs. And I heard there's a little more to the story behind them going out of business, but uh, yeah, I know a lot of people love those subs. It says my local third air says my local shops will give me discounts regardless of the brand I buy from them. Then again, I've been going to them over 15 years. Yes, my local shop, when they were open, they kept a tab of everything you bought from them, and I had friends that worked there, so they could pull up the list of everything I bought from them. You could see the thousands of dollars I spent. Just way back when I was still 18, 19, 17, 16 years old. I spent a lot of money with them. It's crazy to see that. Okay, Maddie Devine. This is something I didn't think about. So when I talked about the Apple lock-in, uh, he says the force loyalty is a Unilink AI net with Alpine. That's a very very good thing. Anything that's proprietary is gonna to certainly lock you in, especially if they don't make that available to third party vendors to be able to tap into that and make their own accessories. Oh, show says okay, yeah, it is OFC. That the 119 for 50 foot of OFC wire plus a 30% coupon. That is an absolute steal. Even if it's some of the smallest OFC wire that they have out there, it's a good deal. Yep. Jay Marvelous says brand loyalty limits you to the best that the brand makes, but not one company is the best at everything. 100% true. Totally agree with that. Uh, you're not always going to get the best of everything if you're just sticking to one company. But then again, if the integration may be something that puts you over the top, and it's part of that lock in, the proprietary nature of AI net say, and that may be something that is very important to you, and it's worth you having all this one product so that you're running the complete system. Like Clarion put out a pretty high end system, I believe it was around 13 or $1,400. That was basically a whole system in one, completely integrated, proprietary and tightly woven, but if it sounds good and it's all one solution, maybe worth it. Roland Sullivan, what's going on? Base insane. Now he buys at Walmart. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's see what else we got. Timmy D in the house. What's up? Tristan Hale says, me personally, Scar is killing the game right now. That is my go-to as of now. Okay, I haven't used a lot of Scar, but a lot of people seem to like it, so I'm interested in maybe testing some out myself at some point. Um, let's see. Euphoria K says, that's probably too much hate in audio, and man, just to be honest, there's a lot of hate in the world, so it's only natural that it would be in audio as well. But I certainly know what you mean. Jessica Scott says my first loyalty was Planet Audio way back. Then they sold out quality for pure profit without us knowing it and blew my money on horrible equipment. That is certainly one of the cons. When I talked about the pros, when I mentioned the flip side, the con, and Planet Audio was definitely one of those. I was a huge Planet Audio guy. I had all the Z made amps. I had a few of those back in the day, and trust me, they weren't cheap back then. They were expensive to me. And I had got some of the very first Gen 1 Big Bang 10s. And man, I absolutely love that equipment. I had several Planet Audio subs of different series, several of the amps. I had a Zatar, which was a killer amp to me. Absolutely love that stuff. But I mean, would I buy a Planet Audio amp today? No, I wouldn't buy it because I don't think it's good value for the money, or more importantly, quality. The quality is just not there for me to want to personally run. Thumper says all his comics are vacuum sealed. Uh, he says bow tie till I die. Jason Stokes, I still want to try the high Q8s. Hey, they're pretty cheap, man. Pick up one, play with it, see what you think. Um, being audio says, I see certain companies show up online, like with Dean or Vega or Big D, and they show they care. I do appreciate that because it's something that we simply don't know. We don't know the company's stance on these things until we have them on and we can kind of see that the passion behind them. And sometimes that passion bites us. Um, we all know how the Bolin debacle went, so that can, he certainly fooled me. I don't know if he fooled Derek, but I was pretty jazzed and pretty pumped, and the way that all ended up was absolutely terrible. But for the most part, everybody that we've had on or talked to has just been so genuine, and you could tell they truly have a passion for what they're doing, which is awesome. Let's see here. Third S says, guess you can call me a fanboy of who I end up associating with and the way people carry themselves in the community. I try to spread positivity and inclusiveness. Can't we all just get along? Hey, man, I'm on it. I'm the king of that. Like I said, this is a community. It's not about one or two creators. It's a community, and you live and die as a community. You can have, Steve Mead at the top at, 700 something thousand subs, and then Mark and EXO and even Big D. But if the community is not there to support them, they're nothing. They're nothing without the community. I'm nothing without the community. The community is nothing without the rest of the community. So that's important to me. I think even if I disagree with your opinions on car audio or the way you think car audio should be or anything like that, like, hey, we're still a community. We're allowed to disagree on certain, if we think the audio should be this way or audio should be that way. That's just part of, that's kind of like having a family. You don't agree with your family all the time, but you still love them. And I love the community, even if I don't always agree with your opinions or you don't agree with mine. So, you know, we're allowed to have different opinions and still be a community and still care about one another. And that's what it's all about. Uh-oh. I hate I tell you what, when I'm scrolling through this chat on here trying to look, it just if I scroll one too far, it jumps me to the bottom. I have to go all the way back up. All right, let's see if I missed anything else good. All right, all right, all right. Okay, Kenneth has a good anecdote here. Brand loyalty is great until you have an issue, but most people I know will be loyal to a great product, not a brand. That's most people are loyal to a great product and not a brand. So if you're willing to drop that because like, hey, the quality's down now, I'm not going to mess with them anymore, or I'm going to give them another chance. They burn me twice, they burn me three times, I'm done. Uh, yeah, if you're loyal to the product and the product's good, then ain't nothing wrong with that. I said MTX. KJ Kyle J says MTX was my first loyalty brand, but you're right. I've used a lot of brands: Kicker, JL, Eclipse, Sundown, Soundstream, Laser, Opti, and Court. And MTX, they've always made quality stuff, in my opinion. They have had some cheaper lines they've had some problems with, but all in all, MTX to me, they're right up there with the Kickers, the JLs, and the Rockford Fosgate and making a quality product. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. Jason Rose says con being such a loyalist that you discount other brands. 100% true. And I'm sitting here preaching, but I've done that myself. I've said, okay, well, this new company has come out with something like maybe it was the Wolfram 2400. And I'm like, oh yeah, but are they going to be around? I'm saying this is me hypothetically 2 or 3 years ago. Like, are they going to be around? How's the customer service? And it looks like so far all that stuff's been great. They've had pretty good customer service. They've been around. They've been reliable from what I've seen. So sometimes that can bite even people that are trying to not be that way. So it's just something you always got to kind of check yourself on. Jason Soak said, "Hope it's not too cold over your way." It's not cold yet, but it's in the 30s now. It's going to be in the 20s overnight. So it's getting there, but in the South, you're never going to get just blistering cold. Let's see who else we got. Oh, Eric Dudley. As much as he loves Rockford Fosgate, the mids just didn't cut it for him. That's why he runs CDT mid base. So doing it. RVA said he's running a full kicker build. I'm throwing him under the bus. No, man. I listen, if you don't want to run that full kicker build, send me the big 2400 and I'll send you back something that's not kicker, and yeah, you'll be good to go, man. Let me see if I missed anybody. Jay Marvelous in the chat. What's up? All right. He says he's doing an all Alpine build with understanding it won't be the loudest, but it will be clean and presentable. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with running all one brand. I actually think it's cool. It kind of has a flow, and they all have the same design aesthetic. And yeah, I think you can definitely uh, gain from running all of one brand if you're willing to make the small sacrifices that you might make in output or sound quality or whatever it may be. Hey, look, Willie Williston is in the house. I'm gonna drop the link again. I just now seen it. All right, if y'all want to join in, the link's in the chat. Drop it like it's hot. Sorry, guys, I'm like 12 minutes behind on this chat here. I've got to do some I've got to do some editing tonight, man. Uh, I've got my video all laid out. One of these live streams, I may do like some I wish I could find a way to share my iPad screen better so that I could do the editing uh, while you guys are kind of watching it and you could kind of see my process. But yeah, it's a bit of a it can be a bit of a nightmare. Thumper says new salt amps look good. Certainly, I like even the aesthetic of them, and it certainly seems like they perform. So no doubt about that. Oh, the big dummy's here. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo. What
What
it
up?
is. Is my audio okay?
Yeah, yeah. We're a little out of sync, but I think it may take a second now when you join.
What's going on, brand loyalty people?
Yeah.
Loyal.
What you up to tonight?
Yeah, just like you, need some editing. I'm behind this week, but figure I'd join in one of these nights that I could for a couple minutes.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, brand loyalty.
Yeah, talk and speak on it.
It's tough, man. You and I have some old school stuff that we enjoy. Rockford, Kicker, Audio Control, Savard. I mean, just stuff we kind of grew up with and stuff that I always like. So I try not to be, swayed toward any particular manufacturer, but everybody's got stuff they love. The old Phoenix Gold stuff, the old Soundstream.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a line between brand loyalty and fanboyism. And I think as long as you don't cross that line, you're probably in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's tough these days, because the brands are it just seems like everything is so different versus what it used to be, because you had to save up all your money back in the day to be able to afford anything halfway decent. Nowadays, you can get stuff that's so cheap that's, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make it tough. Your money could be spent in many different spots now, I think, and it's you got to really research what you're doing, because when you spend that money, you want to get your best value. Although it's so cheap now that sometimes you could just buy 2 or 3 things and see which one you like.
Yeah, I saw the Timpano joke. That was funny.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it.
Fiercely brand loyal to Timpano is what
Oh Lord,
Jesse Strong says.
They're gonna get you on that.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. And Rob, I appreciate the stream you did and talking about what stuff I've done in my channel and everything I do. Greatly appreciate it. And I do want to give you a shout out for, you didn't really even talk about it, but your 5,000 subs. And anybody who's starting YouTube channel or just getting into it, getting to 100 subs is a huge deal. Getting to 500 subs is another huge deal. 1,000 is like, wow. And then after that, the 5,000s to 10,000s and beyond, it's like every next milestone is a huge accomplishment. So I'm giving you a shout out back for your 5,000. That's awesome. Continue to grow, keep putting your work and effort into it, and good things to come, brother.
Thanks. Now I just got to figure out how not to overexpose my. The exposure went crazy. I started the live stream. I was like, "What's going on?" It was fine when I started, and then halfway through, something crazy went on with the software. So I'm just blown up. I'm super white today.
It's all good. Your lights look good, and you can probably see my t-shirts back there behind me that are on. Forgot to move mine away. My bad.
Yeah, no sweat. We this is the unfiltered true Big D right here.
Yeah, for unscripted, right?
Yeah, unscripted.
Not normal.
Yeah, well, they're gonna see us Wednesday, semi-scripted. So
yeah, these live streams, like what Rob does, that's not easy to do this, because you're doing everything on the fly, and you got questions coming in. So this is
yeah. Well, I'll tell you too, the one mic thing, I was like, oh man, I don't got no one to bounce off of. I need a drink. Well, I just got to pause and take a drink. Usually I'm like, okay, D's talking, I'll pause real quick, I'll get a drink. And when you're just talking so much, you get parched.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely for sure.
All right, cool, man. I think I'm gonna
Cool.
sign out too. I've been on a little
Yep.
over 35 minutes. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thanks, man. We will catch up with you on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody, for letting me join in. I will see you guys Wednesday.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later. All right, folks. We will see you later. Do not forget, I'm streaming every day. This is day 4. You see that? 4 of my 12 days of streaming. I'm gonna stream tomorrow. We don't know what the topic is. If you guys got a topic idea, tag me in Facebook, put it in YouTube, drop it in the comments below here. If you have some ideas for the remaining 8 days that I'm gonna do, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you got. We'll try to discuss them. If you guys want to join in on one of these, hit me up. I'm gonna put links in the chat all times. So I think you guys can join in if you want. I think it'll be fun. Outside of that, I will be live streaming tomorrow, probably roughly the same time. 6:30 to 7:30 to 8 at the latest. And Wednesday, I will not have my own personal live stream, but I will be live streaming on the 12 Volt Talk channel. So I don't want to do two live streams in one day. So we'll be on live 12 Volt Talk as usual every Wednesday. I'm cheating. I'm counting that as one of my 12 days of live streaming because I will be live streaming. It'll just be on 12 Volt Talk. So I'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time. I appreciate all of you guys who showed up in the chat, hanging out, chilling. Lots of good conversation. You guys are awesome. I will see you tomorrow.